Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the team building guide for Genshin Impact. I asked you guys the other day on the community tab what videos you want to see from me for Genshin Impact. A lot of you guys were asking about guides. A lot of you guys said you didn't really care, or just anything. You guys just like my content. I appreciate that, by the way. And I saw a few people say team build. They want to know if they're building their team right, want to know how to build teams and everything like that. Because whenever people watch me on my streams, they're always asking, OP, how are you able to transition between so many skills? How are you able to get your ultimate so quickly? And all that type of stuff. So I'm going to be answering all those questions in this video. If you guys do find this video informative or like the content, then of course make sure you hit that like button, and then let me before we get any further in the video, let me say this. If you're not subscribed yet, you should subscribe to the channel. 40% of you guys are not subscribed to the channel, and it only takes 2 seconds. Because hey, if you subscribe, you don't have to keep typing in my name on the search bar 24/7 to try to watch my video. It just pops up in your sub box. So hey man, why not save yourself some time and click that subscribe button. So team building in Genshin Impact is very simple to an extent, but it can come off as pretty difficult if you don't know what you're doing or really haven't read up on a lot of the stuff that the game offers you. So there's a few ways that I look at team building, okay? I'm gonna name off all of them, then we're gonna break them down. One is the roles that each of my team members fill. The second one is elemental resonance, and the third and final one is elemental reactions. Roles, let's get this out of the way first. If you've played any other gacha game or played any other RPG game, you probably have this down. You got your DPS, your support, and your healer. Now, DPS in Genshin, of course, means the character is going to be doing most of the damage. Whenever you get a chance in DPS phases for bosses and dungeons, the case may be, this is the character you're going to switch to, and you're going to just deal as much damage as possible with this character. Some DPS characters that you can use is Dillik, Zhongling, Mona, Zhao, Razor. List goes on and on and on. And if you guys are curious about a DPS character, or curious about any character in the game, you want to know their kits or anything, link down below to the Genshin.gg website. You can go over there, look at everybody's kit and everything like that. Next is supporting characters. Now, supporting characters in Genshin is a little bit different than how they are in other games. A supporting character in Genshin can either be a character that gives a buff or a character that's able to inflict an elemental reaction very easily. For example, Fischl is one of the best support characters in this entire game. The reason why is because she's able to throw out Oz in the middle of a fight, and then you can switch to another character and cause an elemental reaction, because Oz will stay on the field for 10 seconds no matter what. And while he's on the field, he will inflict electrical damage to the enemy. For example, let's say you're using Fischl and Kea, you throw out Oz, you switch to Kea, you use his ice ability, boom, the enemy now is inflicted with superconductor. Of course, we do have traditional supports as well in Genshin, like units that just buff up attack or buff up a specific stat, but keep a lookout for that whenever you are looking at support characters and you're looking at other things and you're like, oh wait, why is this character listed as support? I thought it was a damage dealer. Just keep that in mind. They may have something like that that helps cause an elemental reaction very easy, or they may be able to give a buff to their team. So make sure you're looking at their kit to understand them full. And then last but not least is a healer. Now, a healer on the team is of course meant to keep the team alive and to heal the team as much as possible. Currently in the game, we are able to get a free healer, and that free healer is Barbara. If you are playing the game right now, I highly recommend that you try to get to Adventurer rank 20 as fast as possible. By the way, I'm gonna be having a how to level up fast coming out very soon. So if you guys want to see that, make sure you stay tuned to the channel. Now we got the roles out of the way, let's talk about the other things that I mentioned. Elemental resonance is a thing whenever you have 2 characters of the same element on the same team. The reason why you do this is because, for one, it applies a bonus to your team. As you can see here, these are all of the bonuses you get from certain elemental resonance whenever you have 2 of the same type on your team. You can read up on them, take a screenshot, whatever you want to do, but the one I'm going to talk about is high voltage, because this is the one that I'm using on my team specifically. So whenever I'm affected by hydro, it's 40% less time. Superconductor, overload, and electro charge has a 100% chance to generate an electro elemental particle. Cooldown is 5 seconds. What is an electro elemental particle, OP? These are what charges your elemental burst. And having an elemental resonance on your team, no matter which one it is, will always improve your elemental generation. From what I've heard, from what people told me, from what I've read online, no matter what, even though if it doesn't list it, it always makes it better for you. So that of course means the more energy regeneration you have on your team, that means the more ultimate skills you have, meaning the more damage you have, meaning the faster the enemies die. Of course, like I said, it doesn't matter which one you use. You could use any of these, just make sure that it fits within your team comp. And then finally is elemental reactions. If you guys did not see my beginner's guide and you are still wondering, still questioning on what to do, what you should be doing starting the game, make sure you watch it. It is very informative and can help you out a ton. When I'm building a team, I want to make sure that the elemental reactions I'm using, I can proc very consistently. So let's take a look at my main team, for example, and let me show you which ones I can proc very consistent, so you can get an idea of. This is my main team right here, which of course consists of Bay, Heya, Fischl, and Barbara. As you can see, we have the elemental resonance high voltage on my team because I'm using 2 electric units. But because I have 2 electric units and Kaya's freeze cooldown is very short, means that I can proc super conduct very, very consistently. And that is pretty much my main elemental reaction that I go for. And if I can't do that in a fight, it is pretty difficult for me and I usually have to switch out somebody. But if I can proc that no matter what, then that is good. I'm pretty much smooth sailing throughout the entire fight. Everybody's going to be different depending on what team, depending on what units you pull for, whatever the case may be. Just make sure you have the elemental reactions down to a T, because you don't want to ignore these, because if you ignore them, that means you won't be able to generate too much energy. You're not generating energy, meaning that you'll never get your ultimates, and if you don't get your ultimates, meaning you won't do damage, and meaning that you're not using all your characters to the fullest. Now I'm going to show you an example team comp that I personally would make if I had these units, and to show you kind of an idea of how I go about everything. So for right now, there's a character in the game that I want really bad, but I cannot get him because he's a 5-star and I'm saving my currency. Same thing you guys should be doing, by the way. No, this isn't a video about currency. You should be saving your currency, especially if you're free to play or budget. Save your currency after you get your main roster down. Dillick as our main DPS. 5-star, sample team comp. Use an example, not saying you should build this. Use the characters that you have. Dillick is going to be our main DPS. Very strong damage dealer, really good. Has very strong normal attacks, very strong charge attacks. Really good skills because his skill has 3 charges, meaning that you can activate it very consistently. And he does what he's supposed to do, which is D. Now, as for the other person I'm going to be using on my team, we're actually going to pop in Zhongling. The reason why we're going to be using Zhongling and not someone else is because to an extent, she's a little bit of a supporting character. Because whenever she throws out her doll, she's able to keep that on the field similar to Fischl's burst. Also, I think her ultimate stays as well. I could be wrong about that, but I think her ultimate stays as well if you pop it and then switch to another character. So look at that. We already have our elemental resonance between Dillick and Zhongling. The next character we're going to be using on our team is going to be Fischl for that Oz proc. The reason why, lightning can combo with fire, and also it's going to work into the last character we're going to slot in, which is going to be Kui. I'm not for sure that's actually how you say her name. I could be mispronouncing it, but that's how I'm going to say it. She's an extremely strong healer, probably the best healer in the game currently. Of course, this is an example team comp. Not saying you guys should do this, not saying this is the best team comp in the game, just an example so I can show you how this works. With her on the team, that means now I can pop super conductor between her and Fischl, and also ice can combo with fire, and lightning can also combo with ice, lightning can combo with fire, fire can combo with both. You see the entire team synergizes very well together. And there you have it. That is our team comp. As you can see, we covered every single role on this team. We have a healer, we have a damage dealer, we have supports, and overall the team is going to function very well. I'm not saying this is the best team comp, it was just an example so you guys can see the thought process and what I go through whenever I build my teams. So tell me down below what teams you guys are running. Tell me if you guys are having fun with the game, whatever the case may be. Tell me if you have any luck on your summons as well. Have you guys been pulling some stuff or you guys been getting shafted? But guys, thank you all for coming out. Tell me down below if you have any more questions about team building. I'll try to read every single comment, get to you guys, make sure everybody gets answered. Thank you all for coming out. It's been your boy P. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe for more. And last but not least, man, don't forget to drink water.